some people know they have a message in their heart, they want to write, but don't think they have a story to tell. Or some people know that they have a burning desire to share their story and they know what it is. In both cases, we hone down a little bit more, find out what is their why of writing, what is their main reason that they want to write and share their message. And we pull the right stories to share within their in their book. And what I like to do is combine your journey with what you're doing today.
Welcome to the Business Ownership Podcast, brought to you by Awareness Strategies, helping you navigate the waters between entrepreneurship and ownership. Hey there, peeps. This is Michelle Nedelec, and I'm super glad that you're here with us today because I'm here with my most amazing guest, Seema. Seema, thank you so much for being here with us today.
It is so wonderful to be here, Michelle. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. So give everybody the highlight of who you are and what you do for business.
Well, hi, everyone. My name is Seema Giri, and I am a project management professional, certified in that. I've been doing that for the last 30 years, which has led me to helping people not only live their legacy, but leave their legacy in the form of books and sharing their wisdom and stories, and entrepreneurs for scaling their business and building authority.
Nice. I love it. So how did you get into book writing as your thing?
Michelle, I think this is a spiritual journey for me. When I moved back to the US and to California for the second time around in 2014, my mom had just passed away from lung cancer, and I had just lost my project management business that I was running with my husband. So I was standing with two teenagers in a new location, wondering what to do. Where do I go from here? And my heart had always been in helping people heal and live their best life. So I started with sharing my message of being bedridden with 3 types of autoimmune issues, and how, despite 11 doctors saying that I would not heal, but being bedridden was going to be my life, how I defied that and overcame that. So people were saying, my colleagues were saying, this is what you should do. So I started as a wellness coach, helping women from going the burnout route, because autoimmune issues is a lifestyle issue when you're not prioritizing yourself. And that led me to writing my first anthology with Dr. John Gray from Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus series.
Yeah.
And when I saw what impact it had on people, I was so scared to write my story. All those imposter syndrome came out. Who do you think you are? What have you done? This isn't anything extraordinary. Your story doesn't mean anything. But I went and wrote it anyway. And the impact that I saw was having on people was amazing. And a lot of people came to me saying, I've overcome this and I've overcome that. So I wanted to provide a platform for them to share their story. And, I realized that not everyone is going to relate to me, but to one of these people, they're going to relate. So I started compiling anthologies. That opportunity came to me, and I said, I don't know, I can't do this. I'm not smart enough for this. But because of my project management background, I was able to get it done. And Michelle, it was one of the easiest thing, although it has so many personalities coming together, but it was one of the easiest thing and the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. So that's how I got started in this.
Nice. I love that. So now, as your business has evolved, who would you say is your ideal clientele, and who do you serve for the most?
So my ideal clientele are women in business who have had a transformational journey that has led them to their entrepreneurial, their business, to help people lead their best potential, lead the best life, create a life that they want. And they're typically women who've been in business for at least a year to 2 years, where they know what is it that they want to do, and they've identified their target audience. So I have a wide range of women in business who, anywhere from 1 to 2 years of owning their business to, 30 years of experience. Sometimes it takes that long to decide to share your story and make a bigger impact. So pretty much that's the ideal target audience.
Nice. So what do you think holds people back from telling their stories? Why would they wait that long?
Well, what I've found, Michelle, that 90% of the women that I work with or are like me who didn't believe that their story mattered, that it was anything, because you're living that life, even though you've done something extraordinary, you're living that life. And every moment you're taking the next best step that you think you can do just to survive or to cross that bridge. So you don't feel like you've done anything extraordinary. So one is not believing that the story is good, or sometimes people think that they've either had to have a life of struggle and cross that bridge, or lead an amazing life without any kind of major challenges. And they think that if they don't have one or the other, it's not a story worth telling. That's what holds them back the most.
So when they come to you, do they have kind of a story prepared in their minds, or do you help them draw that out? How does that work?
Both. So depending on, the confidence level of the woman, some people know they have a message in their heart, they want to write, but don't think they have a story to tell. And some people know that they have a burning desire to share their story and they know what it is. In both cases, we hone down a little bit more, find out what is their why of writing, what is their main reason that they want to write and share their message. And we pull the right stories to share within their in their book. And what I like to do is combine your journey with what you're doing today and how you're impacting people, so it can become like a almost like it's like a hybrid of your memoir, a teaching memoir, I guess that's what I can say. It's a teaching memoir that helps you identify who your ideal client is. It helps your ideal clients take the next step, and they understand what is the best, how to work with you, how you work. They get to understand you and your journey. Because if you've been on a similar journey, then the know, like, trust factor gets there more, and they know that, they can count on you. So that's what I like to do with my clients.
Nice. So when people are writing these books, are they using them kind of as a lead generation thing? Are they, is it prospecting? How are they using them to?
All of the above. Majority of my clients are using it as an authority building tool where, when they say they're a best-selling author in a particular field, it raises their credibility and positioning in the marketplace, so they get more opportunities. Generally, they want to do more speaking and podcasting and being seen more in that way. So that really helps them being selected over someone who hasn't been. They're using it for lead generation. They're using it to, sell their books to at events, at their speaking events, because it's a low entry barrier to you and to get to know you. So that they're using it for multiple and all of the ways that we just talked about.
Nice. So if somebody is kind of confused as to where they want to go on stage, maybe they have a lot of past corporate experience that they could use. They want to maybe take it in another direction. How do you help them to decide what the best direction for their book is and for their career speaking?
Michelle, I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I understood that question. Can you repeat
Yeah,
that?
absolutely. So if somebody's got a diverse amount of background, what are some of the ways that you help them to be able to kind of hone in on what the message is in the book?
Well, that's a very good point. We do want to have one particular message in there. So it's basically what they see themselves doing in the next 1 to 2 years, at least, if not 5 years, right? What is it that they want to do now, even if you have corporate experience? Whether you're an entrepreneur or a professional working for corporates, it's still a great way to showcase your expertise. So basically what we're doing is showcasing your expertise, and most of them are transferable skills if you're going from corporate to an entrepreneur. So we highlight those things based on what it is that you want to do and where you want to go in the next few years.
Nice. Love it. So what would you say is your favorite part of your business?
My favorite part of business is just meeting these diverse people, the diverse women doing the various things, being so proud of them, of overcoming their challenges despite everything being against them, and then seeing that light in their eyes when I show them proof of the amazing life and story they have from their own lives, and their eyes shining bright, and then owning their story. They're so much more confident. Just seeing that transformation is so huge for me.
Nice. I love it. So can you share an example of a Cinderella story of one of your clients?
Yeah, I was taught when I was doing my first anthology, Break Free to Stand in Your Power. I was sharing this with one particular person I met in an event we were both attending, and I was telling her, she was telling me about her background. It was so amazing. She was in wellness also, and she's done all these amazing transformation on her own on reducing her own chronic pain. So I told her about this opportunity and I said, you get to write one chapter in this anthology, and it's a business building tool, and it will position you as the authority as you are. And she said, Seema, this is an amazing opportunity. This is so cool. I'm so happy that you're doing this, but I don't understand why you're talking to me. I don't have a story.
Aw.
Michelle, I just looked at her with my mouth hanging open. I mean, this woman rides motorcycle alone to across the US, and which I think, I don't know, many women that I know are have the courage to do something like that, and she goes to events that way. And I'm like, so I showed her from all the things she told me in a short 5 minutes,
Yeah.
what an amazing story she has from that, from her own life. And she couldn't believe it. She said, you know what? I thought, Seema, that I had to reach my version of where I want to go. I would have to have accomplished that for me to say, this is my story. But I realized
Wow.
I just need to be 2 to 5 steps ahead of who I've helped move, ahead of my clients. And I
Mhm.
told her, go back to your clients and ask them how you've helped them. And she did that and just opened her eyes how, even though she felt that she didn't reach the mountaintop that she wanted,
Mhm.
she's still ahead and she still helped so much with her clients.
Right.
So, and she participated and she wrote and she owned her story, and she was thriving after that. And she was showing up in a very different way.
Nice. I think it's an awesome story because I think there's some stat out there of 1% of people have a motorcycle license. 1% of them at the time that I got the stat was women. And I'm sure 1% of them, if that, have driven across the states on a motorbike. So she's not only in the top 1%, she's in the top one of the one of the one.
Exactly, exactly. And because she's in it, she didn't see it. I'm like,
Right.
oh my God, let me shake you off and show you the amazingness of you.
Nice. Well, I think a lot of women should probably do that because a lot of them don't realize that that thing that they do, whether it's getting a scuba diving license, again, 1% of the population have that. Being able to, having traveled to more than 5 countries, less than 1% of people have done that. And
Yeah.
I think if we just kind of Google our accomplishments on see what percentage of the population has done it, we start to realize it's not just that, we're 2 steps ahead of the people that we're trying to teach. And so we have something that's very unique that we can bring to a wider audience and see things in a way that they don't see them, right? So even if you're taking the motorcycle analogy and talking about business, yes, everybody talks about business who's in business, but only a certain percentage of them can even talk about the analogy between that and a motorcycle trip. And it just brings out a uniqueness and a character that makes it interesting and more interesting to hear as a listener.
Exactly. And speaking of the 1%, 80% of the Americans want to write a book, but less than 1% get published. So when you're a published author, you're automatically at the top 1%.
Nice. I love that. That's awesome. So what are some of the kind of topics that people have brought to you that you found kind of fascinating?
So I help around empowerment, wellness, and leadership. So most of my and the current book is called The Power of Community: Success Through Courage, Collaboration, and Compassion. And these amazing women that are participating in this we're all from different diverse backgrounds, and different countries as well. And we're just realizing, I guess, as we're getting older and wiser, not older, wiser. The wisdom we gain is that, we can't do anything alone.
Mm-hmm.
We always need some sort of community. And when women, I think anybody, but women in particular, they thrive so much more when they're in the right community. So it's about finding the right tribe where you can not be afraid to fail and celebrating the successes, because, I don't know, Michelle, if you've realized this over the years, but there's a lot more people around to remind you of your failures and less people to celebrate your successes with. So having that group of the right community where you can share your celebrations of your success, not be afraid to fail, and be able to thrive and grow and be your unique authentic self, and that just leads to a life fulfilled. So these are the current stories that we're working on. That's just been amazing.
I love it. So if somebody is kind of doubting themselves and they're going, I don't know if I have a story in me, and I don't know if I have that, but they go, hey, I am belonging in a community, and that community is serving me. Kind of what other kind of when I say what stumbling blocks might somebody have that they're going, no, this isn't for me, and you're going, yes, this is for you. What's going through their heads?
So the biggest thing is, time. I don't have the time. I'm so busy. But we're also doing, so I asked them about their time, how they're really spending it. And it's really about making the commitment. People are afraid to sit down and write and have the right stories come through. So I have a process that we go through where, we create, once we decide what it is and the why that you want to write, we create an outline. And people think, the biggest thing I think is people think that writing is linear. You got to do chapter 1, then you got to do chapter 2, then you got to do chapter 3. A client of mine, she is, her book is called Open for Joy, which is releasing next year. She, after we created the outline, she was able to get it done in I think less than 2 months. And she wrote as she was inspired to, and she wrote out of order, which is perfectly fine. You find ways, and I show them ways that they can write in a way that inspires them, and they don't even have to write. They can also record and get things transcribed. So we work out what is the best modality for you. How do you get inspired? What is the best time of the day for you? It's not a one size fits all. So whether you're participating in one of my anthologies, which is just one chapter, which takes care of the time, and now they're graduating to write their solo book, and you're in that community as well. So we have your solo book and your anthologies, and even solo books. It doesn't have to be very long. People think it has to be a couple hundred pages. It doesn't have to be. People don't want the fluff. They want to get right to the point. And I think that's why it's the best time to write, because people want shorter books, they want to the point, and they want to know, your story and how you're going to help them.
Right. I love it. So I know the listeners are going to want more from you. How did they start their journey with you?
Well, they can connect with me. My email ID is Seema at Uplyft, UPLYFT.media. And I'm also on all of the social media channels, Facebook, LinkedIn,
Twitter,
Instagram,
TikTok, Instagram.
yeah.
Awesome.
As Seema Giri, so they can find me there.
Nice. I love it. We will, of course, have all of Seema's links in the show notes. So go ahead and scroll down, find the links, and click on those. Of course, open them up in a new browser because we're not done yet. So, Seema, I get to ask you, at what point in life did you know that you were special, kind of crazy enough to think you could become an entrepreneur?
I think in 2014, when I started this journey, even though I've been in business with my husband on a project management business, but he was taking the lead and I was the support. And in 2014, when I decided I needed to do something different, and I embarked on this journey as a wellness coach, that's when I realized that, wow, I too can do this on my own. I don't need to be second in command or behind someone else.
Oh, I love that. That is awesome. And it speaks to me of the power of entrepreneurship, well, the power of an individual to be able to find their own power. And I think that is so amazing. And I think that's why we're going to solve all the problems in the universe.
Definitely. And I think it is the entrepreneurs that will change majority of the issues in the world, because it's you're free to think and innovate on your own and on your terms. So definitely.
I love it. You've been absolutely awesome. Any last words for our peeps?
Yes. No matter what kind of background you're from, whether you've had a very challenging life or an amazing life with few challenges, you have a story. So please own it. And when you own it, then you make a greater impact.
Love it. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. And I know how valuable it is.
Thank you, Michelle. I enjoyed being here. Thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. Peeps, thank you for being here with us today. Be sure to subscribe to the show and share it with your friends. We love helping entrepreneurs grow.
Are you running a business over 7 figures but still struggling with technology headaches? Pay attention, you do not want to miss this offer. This podcast episode is brought to you by Awareness Strategies, who is offering a custom-built digital adoption roadmap for anyone running a business over 7 figures who's wanting to grow their business in the next 5 years. And it's not just a roadmap, they offer full implementation as well if that scares the out of you. Check out awarenessstrategies.com/roadmap for more details today. The link's in the show's notes. Don't regret not doing this. Do it now. That's awarenessstrategies.com/roadmap.